in overtime in their final meetup of the season. The Hawks take it and they beat them. They sweep them in this 2-game set, and we get those much needed points for the standings to battle and stay within playoff reach. The Hawks win it, and it was a big win. I have to say thank you for those who came to the live stream tonight, because we had a great one tonight and also during the trade deadline. But this was a outstanding big win by your Chicago Blackhawks. They battled, they were tested, and they managed to grind it out and get those 2 points. Much needed 2 points, that is. So let's look at shots on net per period. In the first period, the Hawks were outshot 10-13 to the Blue Jackets. In the second period, the Hawks outshot the Jackets 9-7. In the third period, the Hawks outshot the Jackets 13-12. And then in overtime, the Hawks outshot the Jackets 2-1 in total shots on net, 34-33 in favor for your Chicago Blackhawks. Yes, this was a much needed big win by your Chicago Blackhawks, and they prevailed. Stats of the game we should look into. Face-off percentage. The Hawks won at the dot, 57% of the time, to the Jackets basically 43% of the time. That is a key. You want to win at the dot, you want to win games, and that's how you win games. Power play. Hawks went 1 for 3, and the Jackets had nothing. They had 0 power plays. That's insane. And total penalty minutes. Hawks with no penalty minutes to the Jackets 16. You may be wondering, if you didn't see the game, how did the Jackets have 16 penalty minutes? And, well, they had 3 penalties that led to power plays, and they had a game misconduct. Power play, the Hawks get basically a chance, and they manage. The Jackets were just took a stupid penalty late in the second period because Max Domi tried to rip off Connor Murphy's head, and it led to him getting a game misconduct, unsportsmanlike penalty, and he also had a delayed penalty for hooking Connor Murphy. So he gets basically a total of 14 minutes right there. This was a key, and the Hawks managed to prevail. They played this smart hockey. They did not take stupid penalties, which the Jackets did, and the Hawks managed to grind it out and win. So let's look at the goals of the game, shall we? In the first period at 14:02, Matteau scores his first of the season, assisted by Jones and Sherwood to make it 1-0. Blue Jackets. This goal was all set up because a neutral zone collapsed by the Hawks, leading to a breakaway for Matteau for his first of the season. He goes on a breakaway, Deeks laking out of his pads, and they're up 1-0 14 minutes into the game. So the Jackets were controlling, but right there the Hawks and Jackets were playing some back and forth hockey for like the first pretty much half of the period. They were back and forth, getting shots off equally, and then the Jackets gained control after that. Hawks get a power play, though, and they capitalize. At 16:25 in the first period, scored by number 2, Duncan Keith, his second of the season, assisted by number 12, Alex DeBrincat, and number 88, Patrick Kane, to make it a tie game at 1 apiece. So we're tied at 1 apiece. Duncan Keith blasts from the blue line on the power play, ties it up, and we get a power play goal. Something the Hawks have been lackluster in recent weeks. And they've scored a couple against the Jackets now. That's something they need to get going. And they look like they are starting to find their game back on the power play. So the Hawks tie it up. 2 late goals in the period. And no goals after that in the first period. So we go to the second period. And in the second period, only 1 goal was scored. Technically, I should mention, the Hawks could have had the lead in the second period. They should have had the lead to make it a 2-1 game for the Hawks. But no, the Jackets didn't challenge it. This is what happened. The loose puck comes, the puck gets loose, Hawks shoot the puck on net, comes loose, the freaking ref blows the whistle when the puck gets loose and goes into the net. So the refs have to call a review, and they claim no goal because the whistle was blown. Hawks would have went up 2-1 there, and that would have been Kurashev's goal. But no, momentum goes straight to the Jackets after this happens, and at 6:11, scored by Patrick Laine, his first of the night, 11th of the season, assisted by Max Domi and Gergevik. I'm going to butcher that name right now. I'm already saying that. To make it a 2-1 game for the Jets. This goal was scored from a blast from the blue line. Domi gets the puck, plays it up, gets it over to Laine, and Laine blasts it from the blue line past Kevin Lankinen. So the Jets go up 2-1. Hawks are now down, and they could have had a tie game at this point, but no, the refs blow an opportunity where the Hawks would have had the 2-1 lead, but the Hawks start battling back. No goals scored after that in the second period, and there were a couple big saves on each side of the net. So we go to the third period, where goals were of plenty. And at 6:15 in the third period, scored by number 23, Philip Kurashev, his 8th of the season, assisted by number 88, Patrick Kane, to tie it up 2 goals apiece to make it a momentum swinger for your Chicago Blackhawks. Kurashev ties it with a beautiful play by Patrick Kane. Kane gets the puck from Kurashev and goes on a 2-on-1 break. Kane sauces it right to Kurashev, and Kurashev shoots it right in the pocket of Korpisalo between his blocker and arm, and he gets the goal to tie it up. Momentum Hawks. They keep battling, and they score again at 8:21 in the first period. Scored by number 20, Brent Connolly. His first as a Chicago Blackhawk and 3rd of the season. Unassisted to give the Hawks a 3-2 lead. Connolly gets his first as a Chicago Blackhawk, giving the Hawks their first lead in the night. And this was a big goal. Hawks get a goal by their trade deadline acquisition in Connolly, and they get momentum going. But that's not it. The Jets managed to tie it. At 11:32 in the third period, Patrick Laine takes the puck in his own defensive zone, goes behind Korpisalo, goes up the neutral zone, dekes himself through Calvin DeHaan and Stillman, and beats Kevin Lankinen all by himself, unassisted, for his second of the night, 12th of the season, to tie it up at 3. Laine gains control in his own zone, and he goes all the way up the neutral zone. He went all by himself and scores and ties it. So momentum starts to go in the favor of the Jets. They managed to battle and tie it back up, and now they gain control. Lankinen had to make some big saves, and they were huge enough to help the Hawks get that 1 point. So overtime is needed. Both teams get a point in the standings, but we get the much needed second point. At 1 minute and 25 seconds into the overtime, scored by number 38, Brandon Hagel, his 6th of the season for the GWGNOT, assisted by number 77, Kirby Dach, and number 48, Wyatt Kalynuk, to give the Hawks the 4-3 win in overtime. This was a much needed win, and they prevailed, beating the Jackets in overtime, and we get those 2 points that we need. This was a good game. It was a fun game. It was a game of emotions, I should say. It was insane. It was a big game by the Hawks. They needed these 2 points to stay in the playoff race, and they got the 2 points. So now we're within 2 behind Nashville in the standings. This was a key. Get the 2 points, and now we go and play Detroit. So down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts were from tonight's action. And thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks!